Saturday? This is it. Today is, what is it, October 8th? Is that right?
Yes.
And we have a quiz this Saturday.
Saturday.
Woo! Make sure you're with me. Right? We have a quiz. Usual routine. You may have noticed the weighted total column closed. Did you notice you can't see anymore? Anybody notice? I'll reopen it after I grade the second quizzes. I'll post the grade quiz grades. I'll let some time pass. I'll calculate weighted totals again, and I'll open up that column before we come back up next week. And we don't even have classes on Tuesday next week. So you're not coming back till a week from this Thursday, right? And you'll know what your grade's at the end of quiz 2, as if the class were ending right then, but no participations in it. So I'll put all the weights on there, and you'll know where you stand, just like you did after the first quiz. Same routine. So this is it. We're finishing chapter 3, and I have my alarm set so that we start our in-class assignment early. It's kind of a bigger, longer one. Uh-oh, Alex is throwing my count off.
Sorry.
I think that makes everybody attending today. This is a record day. I should take a picture. Man. But we'll finish chapter 3, and then we got an in-class assignment. It's a big deal. And I don't know, any questions about the quiz? You know what to expect, right? Just like the last quiz. That list of topics I had up there. By the way, thank you. Just remember, I just added reduced cost on the topics. So if you downloaded this, you may want to add that item. I'm going to repost this tonight so that item's on there. Also, PowerPoint 3, a lot of you downloaded this probably before last night. Late last night, I uploaded a new PowerPoint 3 with some changes, some corrections on it. So if you have PowerPoint chapter 3, you may want to delete it and download this new, just in case the changes affect something you're looking at. Okay, I'm going to start, matter of fact, I'm not starting here. I'm going to start right here. I'm on slide 33. Here's what's going on. Believe it or not, we're heading towards review, but there's a slight twist. The company said, hey, instead of going forward with these standard and deluxe golf bags, we have the same story, by the way, all through chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 1 even, I think. These golf bags, standard and deluxe, let's think about a third golf bag. And it's going to be a lightweight. It seems like lightweight golf bags are selling a lot. They seem to be hot. And from everything we calculated with the one we put together with the materials we have, we'll make more profit off a lightweight bag than we will off the standard deluxe. How much profit do you see up there that we'll make off the lightweight bag? Give me that number.
1285.
No. You say 35?
1285.
12 what?
85.
1285 exactly. I had to have him say it 3 times. I couldn't figure it out. There it is. Because here's the $10 for the standard bag, here's the $9 for the deluxe bag, and here's a new variable L, and there's the profit off that one, which is higher than the other two. Now, we said, great, let's run this. Nothing else changed. Oh, I can't see the fourth. What do I got to do? I got to shrink this. Can't even find my pointer. There's the fourth constraint. Still see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Everything else is the same. All we're doing is adding another variable. And there were a certain amount of time that this new lightweight bag would take up in each department. So now, not just S&D for each department, but we have L, the lightweight bag, which will be 0.8 of an hour for every one of these we decide to make going through cutting and dyeing. It uses 1 hour if it goes through sewing. It uses 1 hour if it goes through finishing and inspection packaging of 25 minutes, a fourth of an hour, 20 minutes, excuse me, 20, 40, 60, no, 15 minutes. 15 minutes, and they're always positive. There they are. So they're added in there now. We entered everything into the software, and here's the output. My question for you is, how many standard bags are we going to be making for the next 3 months this time, now that we have a third item involved? 280. The optimal solution for standard bags up at the top is how many would be made, 280. How many deluxe bags are we going to make now with this new variable? 0. Does anybody remember last time, before we add this new thing, how many deluxe bags were we going to make before we added that? 252. So we have a little kind of a situation that by adding this new product, in order to maximize profit, because the profit's so much on that lightweight bag, it ended up knocking out any deluxe bags to be made. So we're gonna head towards a twist where remember that distribution center said, we'll take all you can make for the next 3 months at the prices you quoted us. And they were handing us a purchase order. But now the scenario goes all over again because we're pretending as if we have 3 bags we're offering. They said the same sentence. We'll take all you can make. We got back with them and said, we're going to be making 280 standard bags and 428 lightweight bags and 0 deluxe. Remember that, because they are not happy with that. They don't want 0 deluxe. But meanwhile, here's our situation. Before we get started with production, we just found out that we're going to be making more profit off the deluxe bag. And we're going to be making, instead of $9 a bag, we're going to be making $11 a bag. And nothing else is, no, you know what? And the standard bag, this is deluxe, the standard bag is going down from $10 to $9. One's going up 2, one's going down 1. My question for you is the optimal values for the variables still valid, yes or no? No. John, tell me why. He's saying that this 9 is going to 11, which is 2 units, but the allowable increase is only 1.15. If it goes past 1.15, those optimal solutions are no longer valid. So there's no reason for us to calculate a new objective function value. But what we would write here is, we would say the deluxe bag increase from 9 to 11 is outside the allowable increase, therefore the optimal values are no longer valid, not valid. All right, let's change it. Now, instead of the deluxe bag going from 9 to 11, it's going from 9 to 10. My question is, are the optimal values for the variables still valid, yes or no? You don't know that. Stop. Someone tell me why you don't know that.
Because we didn't do the 100% thing.
Exactly. Josh?
Yeah.
Lord? How's that? All right? We didn't do the 100%. Right now, all you can tell me is that both of them are within their limits. Is that a true statement?
Yes.
1, both in limits, or whatever words you want to use. If you don't put these words, that's like a half a point. I wrote the quiz over it. And not that there's a question about this on there. I don't know what I'm saying. You ready? 2, you realize you got to calculate the 100% rule. Here we go. This is going up 1, divided by what? I can't hear it. I heard it over here.
1.15.
What? Is that the one? Is that the one? Thank you. Exactly.
I'm looking at the top.
1.15. Jump out of the calculator for me. This other one's going down 1. 1 divided by what? Say it again. Where is it? 2.07. Everybody look at where these numbers came from. Because this one's going up, we looked at only the increase. We compare the amount of change to the increase. Because this one is going down, we compare it to the decrease. Hand up, you're going to have to tell me we should be comparing it to the decrease. Someone gave you the number for the increase. Is that correct? Right? Huh? 4.88. So this is supposed to be 4.88, right? Now, 1 divided by 1.15 is about 0.7, 0.8, 0.87 or 86, whatever. Okay, that doesn't matter, as long as the rounding is correct. 1 divided by 4.88 is about 0.21. Huh?
20%.
Is it really? 0.20. We add these up. We get 80, 90, 100. What? Was that right?
Yeah.
1.07? Are the optimal values for the variables still valid? No. Not that. We'll have that one more step. This is greater than 100%. You've got to show that you're comparing to 100%. So what we got here? Both in limits. Calculate 100%. 3, compare to 100%. To 100%. And 4, determine if yes or no. Yes or no, still valid. you guys said no because this is over 100%, greater than 100%. What if this was exactly 1.00? Are the optimal values for the variable still valid, yes or no?
Depends on how you feel about it.
No, it's a yes. If it's exactly equal to 100%, we can still, this will still say that everything's still valid. It's got to go. If it goes just a hair over, that's it. There's no longer valid. Okay? You got the steps? These steps should, if you wrote these down, they're telling you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for work that you looked at both limits. I'm looking for work that you calculated those percentages to do the 100% rule. I'm looking for work that you compared it to 100%, and I'm looking for work that you now are telling me, whatever the question's asking, yes or no, something's either valid, still valid or not. Okay. You ready? Anybody want to take a picture of that? Because I'm about to erase it. We're going to do the constraints now. But wait, we should do the new objective function value in this one real quick. New objective function value. I'm doing the easiest way to calculate it. The objective function, even though there's 3 variables, is the number with S, which is 10, times 280, plus the number with D, which is 9, times 0, and the number with L, $12.85 times 428. That's how that 8,200, we're going to call that 8,300. That's where that comes from. But those are the numbers that changed. So now, we'll start with S. S is going to be, instead of 10, it's 9 times 280. You got 280. D is 1 times 0. And L is still $12.85. Where did I get this 1? I'm sorry. That's supposed to be, what did S go down to? 9 times 0. Sorry.
But it doesn't matter.
It does with the logic, though. You wouldn't want to use the amount of change. You want to use what it went to if you're doing this way. 1285 times 428 of them. And if you multiply 9 times 280 and 1285 times 428 and add them, because now we're using a 9 instead of a 10, you'll have the new objective function value.
820.
Which is 8,020? 8,020. So it went down, about 80, from 8,300 to, oh no, man, it went down 220, 280 down. Because of this decrease. 1 times 280, they decrease, subtracted, you'll get the same answer.
Why can't we just do that instead of going for all these?
No, you can't. You're being, instead of doing all these, I say in every lecture, you can do it either way you want. Most people find replacing each of the numbers times the optimal value is the easiest for them. But if you like math, you only have to take the change. Now, this is a 1 unit change going up, but it's times 0, so there would be nothing to add. This one's going down 1 unit, which is S, times 280. 1 times 280 is 280. Subtract it from 8,300. You get the exact same answer, and that's the work you would show instead. And I would say, oh, you did it the short way. No problem, as long as you're showing me how you got it. Absolutely. You ready? We're doing right-hand side constraint. Here's the deal. I'm going to stare at it for a minute. I don't know if this part's on camera. Take a shot. Or can I erase that? Erase that? Everybody's okay? Okay. I know this now. The third constraint and fourth constraint are going to change. Oh, I should have left those 4 steps there. It's the same steps no matter which one we're talking about. 708 is going down to 700. 708, the right-hand side constraint 3 is going down to 700. And constraint 4 is 135 currently, and it's going up to, and I gotta look, are you kidding me? Wow, it's only going up to 140. All right, 708 to 700 decrease is an 8 unit change. Is it within its limit? Yes or no? If we're looking at the third constraint right-hand side, it's going from 708 to 700, which is 8 unit decrease. Is it within its limit?
Yes.
Because it could go down how much?
A lot more.
168.
168. Okay, look at the other one now. 135, the right side of the fourth constraint's going up 5. Going up 5. Is it within its upper limit?
Yes.
Yes, and how much could it go up?
9.6.
9.6. That's a 5. This is keeps going in. Switch it. Switch it. Yeah. So they're both within their limits. We would write both limits. And within limits, right? Get that?
Yeah.
That's what that is. 8 divided by 168 is really small. 0.048. 0.048. 5 divided by 9.6 is 0.5 or 0.6. 0.52. 0.52 plus 0.48 is 0.568. What's the next step?
It is.
Compare it to 100%. This is less than 100%. Step 1, we said they're both within their limits. That's that sloppy hammer. Step 2, we calculate each of their percentages. Step 3, we added them and compared them to 100%. Step 4, what do we put on step 4? Yes. Yes. The what? No. No. Stop. Just say it again. No, stop. No, no. No.
The dual value.
There. That's 2 in a row. If there were extra credit, you would get none except for those 2. You ready? Yes, the dual is it value or price on this one? Value is still valid. Man, if this were the objective function, John, this is the first one you got wrong, so I'm pointing it out. If it were here, yes, it would be up there, up here. But these are the right-hand side constraint. These questions are all about here. Yes, they're still valid. New objective function value. You ready? The first change was constraint 3. It went from 700 to 708 to 700. 8 units times what? Give me a number.
8.1.
8 down to 8.1. Someone calculate that. The next one is going from 135 to 140, which is a 5-unit change times what?
19.
$19. Someone get that one. That's 4. That's 20, 40, 60, 80. That is 76. 8 times 8.1 is 64 plus 8. Help me out.
64.8.
64.8. That's what I said. That's 2 here. You ready? You ready? The objective function value right now is 8,300. 8,300. 64. I want to make sure everybody hears this. 64.8 is for this first one, which went down 708. Start with this question. Only this question. Is the effect of constraint 3, which is going down from 708 to 700, going to have a positive or negative effect on the objective function value?
Negative.
Negative effect, because the dual value is a positive number right now. Which means it's every time you look at these dual values, they're telling you the type of effect if the right-hand side of these constraints go up. If that constraint 3 were to go up, it would have a positive effect of $8.10 for each unit. Constraint 4, if it were going up, has a positive effect of $19 for each unit. But constraint 3 is going down, so it has to have the opposite effect of what you see there. So it has to have a negative effect. So we're going to take 8,300 and we're either going to add 64.8 or subtract it. Negative effect, is this a max or a min?
Max.
Negative effect on a max means add or subtract.
Subtract.
Here's a subtract right there. Okay, now 76 is constraint 4 and it's going up. Should it have a positive effect or a negative effect? Positive effect, because it's a positive dual price. It says it should have a positive effect if it's going up, which it is. So do we add or subtract it? Add, because it's, where is it? Because it's a maximization problem. 8,300 minus 64.8 plus 76 gives you your new objective function value, which would be, hang on, don't tell me, 10, 11, it'd be 83, 11.8 or 2?
1.2.
2, that's what I meant. Is that right? Any verification? And that's how you get your new objective function value for a 100% rule if you have more than one change taking place in the constraints. So again, I know I'm saying this a lot because I want everybody to do really well. These right here are all about whether these optimal values are still valid or not. These right here are all about whether these dual values are still valid or not. There's the connection. Okay? You ready now? We're now going on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
How did you know if it was a min or max?
If this were on a quiz, it would probably start right off saying this maximization problem output above, so it will tell you. All right? I wouldn't leave you hanging. In this particular case, because right in the previous slide it says max. All right. Where are we? We're going to figure out. That was a lot of stuff there. Where are we? How are we doing on time? Here we go. We're going to slide 2728. Wait, wrong way. Relevant cost and sunk cost. I kind of hinted at what these are all about. This is like, you know, great job out there, first job out of college if you can nab one. Is a purchasing agent for a company that deals with a lot of suppliers of some kind. Being a purchasing agent, you're the person who's comparing quotes from all kinds of suppliers. You're trying to find backup suppliers in case something happens. You're trying to find better prices all the time. And you're the one that's getting the calls from suppliers that say things like this, which you're about to hear. And when they ask you this question, hey, I've got an extra 1,000 pounds of this thing that we're supposed to be getting to you. Extra 1,000. I know we're supposed to drop off 5,000, but I got an extra 1,000, and I'm about to send it to you if you'll take it at $5 a pound. And you are the purchasing agent, and this is where you have this stuff in front of you all the time, and you got to go. They need to know right then. They're not, you know, they don't have time because you're going to call the next customer to offer this unbelievable deal of 1,000 more pounds at $5 a piece. What you need to understand is whether that particular item, that stuff you're already buying from the supplier, is a relevant cost or sunk cost. Now, for this class, I will tell you in the story. The story will say, and the cost is a relevant cost, or it will say it's a sunk cost. But in real life, you got to go back and say, is this 1,000 pounds of aluminum or whatever it is the original cost we paid for the original order, the first 3,000, is it already built into the objective function? That profit we're going to make, is that cost already been subtracted in the objective function? Because if it's already in the objective function, let me see how I say that. Then it's got to be a sunk cost. And all you got to evaluate, now that's got to be a relevant cost. Doesn't matter. Then all you got to evaluate is if the amount you're paying, if it's a sunk cost, the amount they're being offered to you, and whether it's more or less than the corresponding dual price or dual value. Let me repeat that. Here's the thing you've got to remember. If the cost is a sunk cost, all you got to look at is the dual price. The dual price is the maximum you would pay for additional units of that resource. Let's stick with sunk cost as we look at this output. If I said to you, 708 is Department 3, but we cross-trained all our employees when we hired them, so they could work in any department. And we noticed there's 91.6 hours of slack or surplus. It happens to be a less than equal, so is it slack or surplus, by the way? Slack. It's a less than equal. Slack. Slack. There's 91 hours of slack here, which means we could pull an employee off this department and bring them down to this department, and we can add a few hours. And we can add, let's say we can add 50 hours. 50 hours here. My question for you, is the dual price or dual value still valid if we make that shift and add 50 hours here? Yes or no? It is still valid because it's within the upper limit. Now, what about this? We're taking away 50 hours from the first constraint. Is that within its limit? Okay. Now the decision is, we can forget the 100% rule for this question. Now the decision is, we're being told if we make this switch and increase this by 50 hours, that is going to cost us about $12 an hour. We got to pay, you know, because this person's going to be going into overtime maybe or something like that. going to have an additional cost of $12 an hour, whatever it may be. It's a sunk cost. I mean, it's a sunk cost. You only got to look at the dual price to make your decision. If the cost that you have this opportunity to make the decision is larger than the dual price, then it's good. Then you might as well say no, because that's all the amount of profit you will gain by increasing those hours. Let's do it a different way. Let's try another one. It's straightforward. 135. This time we're pretending this is like material, cloth, that's going to be on these bags, a vinyl maybe, right? A fake leather-looking vinyl. We have 135 tons coming. 135 tons. We just got offered 5 more tons from that supplier. They're the purchasing agent for this deal. They just called and offered 5 more tons at $5 a ton. Look real quick. Step 1 is the additional 5 tons allowing us to look at the dual price and know it's still valid, yes or no? Because that 5 is within the upper limit, which is how many it could increase. So this is going up 5, it could have went up 9.6 tons. So the 5 tons is there. We can quickly, we still got them on the phone. We look here, correct? $5 a ton. What are you telling them? Yes, get that here, or no, or something else. Yes, because every $5 we spend, as long as it's within this limit, we know our profit's going to increase by $19. We'll take it. Send it on over. We'll take it. How many extra tons was that? 5 extra tons. That's great. Perfect. Let's try it again. You ready? Yes.
So the sunk cost should be lower than the dual value?
If you want to say yes. Yeah. Forget that last phone call. Let's pretend they never called, but they just called. Right? They're offering you 5 tons for $20 a ton.
No.
Wait. $20 a ton. 5 tons. Step 1. Is it within the limit?
Yeah.
Dual price still valid?
Yeah.
Now, should you take it?
No.
What are you going to tell them?
Give it for 5.
Good. You counter. You don't just say no and say don't call the next customer. You counter and you bargain and you try to get them down price so you can say yes. That's exactly what you got to do. That's your job. And you try to get them as low as you can. And even when they offered it at 5, and you know you're going to make a killing off it, you might even, before you say yes, I can take it for 4. And see what they say. Right? They don't know how it's going to affect. They don't see your output. They don't see this. They have no idea what effects it's going to have. You want to capitalize, try to get this deal as best as you can. That's your job. You get it. So if it's a sunk cost, you ready? Now we're going to talk about relevant cost. The story will say, supplier called, offering you 5 more tons, and it's a relevant cost. Relevant cost means you have to evaluate whether you're going to accept it or not based on if the amount that's being offered is within, this represents a premium above the regular price. I know I've lost you. You ready? So the story, for example, goes like this. We usually pay $30 a ton for this material, this leather. $30 a ton. And this is we're being offered 5 more tons at, hang on a minute, what did I say, $30 so far? We're being offered for $40 a ton. So I'm writing this down. Okay, we usually pay 30, it's being offered for 40. Everybody see this?
Yeah.
Now, right away, if it's a sunk cost, you're going, no way, we don't want it. $40, we're comparing it to $19. So there's no way we take it. But the story says it's a relevant cost, and we usually pay $30 a ton. So you're evaluating whether the price being offered to you is within the regular price plus the dual value, which would be a premium that you're willing to pay for additional units. And it will have a positive effect on the objective function value. So now, we usually pay 30, they're offering it to us for 40. After we negotiate, forget negotiation, would we end up saying yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Because 30 plus 19 would be
59, they're offering it to us for 40, significantly less than 59. She took the regular price of the story, $30, added the dual price, and that's the max you would pay, which is 59. 49.
Sorry.
and they offered it for 40. So we're going to make $9 off each ton, even if we don't negotiate. So of course we're eventually going to say yes after we try to get them even a lower price. You see the difference between sunk and relevant. Now, if this question's on the quiz, it will give you the regular price, even if it's sunk. This regular price will still be in there. So just in case it's relevant. So you have to determine whether you're using the regular price. You have to determine if you're looking at what's being offered compared to if it's a sunk cost, it's just you look at $19 and you say yes or no. But if it's a relevant cost, you're going to grab that regular price out of the story, add the premium, the extra $19, and then make the decision whether you say yes or no, based on the offer. So the story will have the regular price, and then the story will say what is being offered, how many units, and it will give you the price that you would have to pay if you accept the offer, and it will then say whether it's a relevant cost or sunk cost, and you got to show me how you're making the decision, yes or no, if you're taking it.
So if the price of the dual value plus the old cost is greater
Then what's being offered?
than what's being offered,
That's right. You're going to say yes.
you're going to say yes.
But you're going to show me the detail that you took the regular cost, you added the $19 to get to 49, and then you're going to show me how the 40 is less than 49, and that's why you're saying yes, you'll take it. If it says relevant cost. But if it says sunk cost, you ignore what we usually pay for it. You only look at that dual price and compare it to the price that's being offered. So if they're saying $40 a ton, and it's a sunk cost, that's so far above 19, you're saying no. And you're showing me you compared 40 and 19, and no, because it's so far above the dual price. And it's a sunk cost. Everybody get it?
Yeah.
You sure? Hang on, let me do another one. Hang on, I'm almost there. You ready? The first constraint's at 630. And we're being offered 600 more pounds. What? 600 more pounds.
Yeah.
The regular price, boy, I lost it here. Yes, the regular price we usually pay, this is tons, I'm sorry, 600 more tons. So 630 plus 600 is taking us to 1,230, 1,230 tons of this material, whatever this is, number one. You know. And we usually pay $20 a ton. And it's a relevant cost. It's a relevant cost, and they're offering it to us for $19 per ton. My question for you is, are you saying yes or no to the offer of 600 more tons? I heard one person say yes or no. You ready to tell me why? I got it. Why?
I mean, you don't know what the math, but like, 19 is.
You got to show me what you're comparing those.
Yeah,
Okay.
she'll add
Do you see what she just said? She said, even though it's a relevant cost, which means you would not accept a price that's above the normal cost plus the dual value. But look at the dual value. What is it?
Nothing.
0. What's the regular cost?
20.
What's 20 plus 0?
Nothing.
And what's the price being offered? 19. Do you say yes or no? Yes. The price being offered is below the regular price, even when we add the 0 to it. We're comparing it to 20, and says 19 is below 20, even though it's a relevant cost. That's tricky. Change the whole problem. Nothing changed. Numbers the same. We're offered, oh wait, don't forget. I almost forgot. You've got to put a sentence there that says it's within its limit. So the dual price is still valid before you tell me yes or no.
600 is less than anything.
Yeah, that's right. It's an increase of 600. Look at the first constraint. It can increase by infinity. Hey, what happens if this is in 100% rule? What do you divide by here? Oh, uh-oh. I better do that real quick before we go on to the next
0.
one. Huh?
Equals 0.
Well, yeah, might as well call it 0. Might as well, right?
You can't divide it.
Let me explain what he's saying. He's saying, let's say there's more than one change, and this change is going 600 units. That'd be 600 units divided by, you gotta do this symbol for infinity. It doesn't matter what that is on top. This is so close to 0%, you might as well call it 0%. Anything divided by infinity is, I mean, you'd almost have to have like infinity on top of infinity or something. So any number divided by infinity is so close to zero, you might as well call it zero. It could be 0.0000001 way out there, maybe, but you might as well call it zero. If it's involved in 100% rule, so we now know what to do there. All right, I think we got it. Let's do it one more time. This is a sunk cost now, being offered for $19 a ton, 600 extra tons. Do we take it, yes or no? No, why? Who is it? Who is it? Okay, why?
Because the sunk cost is more than the dual value.
The sunk cost, they're offering for 19, so we don't even care about what the usual price was. We go straight to the dual price, which is zero. $19 is so far above zero, we would never take this offer. I'll take it if you offer it for free. And even then, you're a break even. Why do the extra work for a break even? We don't want it, unless you pay me to take it. Right? That'd be the only way. And that's not going to happen, so we just say no. It's not one of our binding constraints, or, yeah, it's not one of our, what constraints are binding on this? 1, 2, 3, or 4? 3 and 4, how'd you know? Because the slack and surplus is zero. This is going to be your best quiz, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, John's all over. Yeah. All right. One more subject. You ready? Reduced cost is the top right-hand column in the optimal solution. Everybody see it up there?
Yeah.
Notice that S, we're making 280, has a zero reduced cost. Notice L, we're making 428, has a zero reduced cost. But D, deluxe bag, because we have this very profitable lightweight bag, caused the deluxe bag to be off the table. But our distribution center, I told you, was upset. They said, well, this is not quite what we expected. We really would like all 3 bags, at least, and they're going to tell you a number, at least blanky blank deluxe bags. What the reduced cost tells you, and by the way, you only see this when this item is not involved in the optimal solution, that there's none to be made. It's very much like the dual price. It's telling you for every deluxe bag you decide to make, and you're going to have to write a constraint to make this happen, deluxe is going to be greater than equal to whatever that distributor tells us they want at least. We want at least 20 of those. Now, we have to add that constraint and recalculate everything. But it tells you right here the effect that's going to take place. For every deluxe bag that you're going to add to this by forcing it to make 20, you're going to lose $1.15 on your objective function value. So that'd be 20 times $1.15. Now I want to give you a quick situation. The book sometimes doesn't have the negative there. The software sometimes doesn't have the negative there. I want to tell you, this is always a negative effect. If there's a number under reduced cost, it's a negative effect. That's what that negative is. Negative effect. And that's what's going to happen if we force it to make deluxe bags. It's going to have a negative effect of $1.15 for every deluxe bag we're going to force to be made. So we know now our objective function value is going down 20 times $1.15. You get it? That's what that is. So today we've just learned about sunk cost, relevant cost to make decisions using those dual prices, which is what really this is the biggest part. This is how this is used more for this right here, making those decisions with suppliers who are trying to offer you more at certain prices. Look right up here real quick. I just thought of a scenario. I want to make sure you get it. 135 is what we're getting tons of material. We got the call, 10 more tons are being offered to us, 10 more tons at $5 a ton. Should we take it? Yes or no?
Not in the allowable increase.
We don't know the answer because it's not within the allowable increase. 10 takes us past 9.6, which means this $19 is no longer valid. We don't know what effect it's going to have on the objective function value, but this supplier has insisted that we make a decision right then. We have to run this over again to know to take it. Or we could try to negotiate for just an extra 5 tons or 9 tons or something under 9.6 because we know exactly how much we're willing to pay for it and we know whether we'll make money off it or not. And that's how these are used. This is boom, boom, boom. It's right in front of me. I'm gonna redo everything and get back with you, and they're gonna say, you get back with me, it's gonna be gone. We need to know now. All right, everybody get it? So if it goes over, this is no longer valid, you can't make a clear decision on yes or no.